In the Arc Raiders Flashpoint update, they increased loot value in all locked rooms with a scaled increase depending on the key rarity, which would suggest epic key rooms are even better than before. My favorite epic tier room is the Dam Control Tower key, so I thought I'd test it out to see what changes have been made. Spoiler alert, there are definitely some improvements. To figure out what really changed, I had to loot this room across 2 night raids and 2 day raids. This is what I found. When I first went in the room on a night raid, I was greeted by the same red lockers as always. There wasn't really much in here to say that things had changed. Then I noticed a new container type. A white cabinet had been put here alongside the lockers. Inside, we found the typical loot that we'd find in the lockers that they were beside, so not much there, but at least there was extra containers. And then we had a new suitcase added, which once again had similar containers to the lockers that I had just been looting. Up the stairs to the left, then we've got more lockers that were always there like before. But then something interesting happened. A double purple weapon container. I don't think I've seen this before. I don't know if they've just buffed the drop rate of weapons in this room, but this was pleasantly surprising. There's nothing strange about seeing a purple level 2 weapon in the Dam Control Tower room. That is very standard, but seeing 2 in a single container was pretty nice. By the time I'd finished looting these 4 lockers, I had 3 level 2 weapons in my bag already. And there was another grenade case here. What I was noticing was the Raider-style containers were a plenty in this room now. There's certainly more spawning than average. And interestingly, a lot more items were spawning on the control terminals as well. You could always get items up here, but usually it wasn't that many, and sometimes they were really quite infrequent with how they were spawning. I got lucky with the weapon case, which was a Tempest. That can happen and always could happen for quite a long time, so nothing out of the ordinary there, but it was quite nice to see. And I continued to loot and surprisingly found a nice stack of advanced electrical components from a container that I'd usually just overlook in this room, to be honest. And another blue suitcase, where we found our first blueprint and a stack of 2 Vita shots. Not bad for a new container in this room. Now, most of these blue suitcases were new to this room. What wasn't new was people snooping up in your business when you're trying to loot your own key room. Excuse me, man. This is my room. Could you leave, sir? This is my room, bro.
No.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. No.
Yeah, but this is my room. This is my room.
Don't shoot.
This is for me. I use my key on this room. You gotta leave, bro. Come on, you gotta go. You gotta go.
What?
Please,
What?
go.
Leave.
Leave.
Leave this?
Please, yeah, leave. Please.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm not sure why he was so irritated with me asking to leave a room that I used the key for, but at least he listened to my requests. Spoiler alert, he was actually the most respectful player we come across today, unfortunately. I got back to looting and we found more advanced electrical components and then a stack more containers that weren't in this room before. So in total, they've added about 10 separate new containers to the Dam Control Tower room, which is quite generous considering there are a lot in this room already. There's also a security breach here as well. There's actually multiple security breach spawns in this area, so if you got lucky, you might get more than one. From the white containers, I got some utility items, a surgical that I decided to stick on the door in case someone else decided to barge in, and some keys, some grenades, and some gun parts. So nothing too fancy, but I guess it adds to the collection, and the security breach did the same pretty much in terms of gun parts. There were more Raider-style containers scattered across the upper deck of this part of the control tower, and there were some more breachables that could have had advanced mechanicals, but they didn't this time. And then one breachable with a single battery in. Seeing this always reminds me just how silly it can be to go into a key room and get a single battery from a container when there's a place in Stellar that has like 15 batteries per container. It's kind of ridiculous. And then we decided to go outside where we found the typical blue suitcases, and my blueprint collection was really starting to come up now. The Raider-style container, the backpack didn't really do me too well, to be honest. The Stella Montes one is always a lot better. And then a Rocketeer decided to bother me, which was a little bit inconvenient, not gonna lie. The Rocketeer always likes to snoop into this area on a night raid, which can be a little bit difficult if you haven't come prepared. And in my situation, well, I almost got killed because the Bombardier was also snooping around. Eventually, I managed to deal with the situation. I got out on the roof. There was another grenade case, another suitcase, and 2 breachables. Pretty normal standard stuff here. So nothing on the outside had really changed. Overall, we gained a profit of 93,000 from this first key run. And we found a few blueprints, a few epic weapons, and a few grenades and medical items. Overall, a pretty good run. This room is always great, but the addition of 10 new containers per run is definitely going to make it better. Now, to make sure that it wasn't just a lucky run, I went in again to see what the containers felt like, and I got a Bobcat 2 on my first locker and another locker with 2 weapons in it. So this seems to be happening more than once, which is pretty cool. Let me know if you've had a similar experience since the update. Multiple guns dropping from a single container. The same observations I noticed on my first run through, which were more items on the control panels, more containers that have been added overall, and just overall more loot because there are more containers, seem to remain true for my second run. This time we're left with a couple purple weapons, some wolf packs, a Vita spray, and a bunch of gun parts and utility items. Overall, our value gained was 100,000, so a little bit more than the first time. Now we had to do a run on day raid to see what this room was like. We know night raids are the best for key rooms, but how does this room fare on a day raid? Well, I noticed changes immediately, with the first few lockers having no weapons and instead more grenades and throwables. Whilst the new white containers were there, the suitcase didn't spawn, and all of the items that were on the control panels before weren't really there. There weren't many at all. All of the white drawers were still there though, but just some more grenades here and there, and so far no weapons. The security breach sort of saved the day with the Bobcat and some gun parts, and overall I was noticing less raider containers. I was starting to think it wasn't too great, until I find a Torrente on a desk, and this one was a level 3 weapon, which is really weird. Night Raid Control Tower has level 2 weapons, but Day Raid has level 3? Yeah, that's strange. Overall, I felt like I was finding less value throughout the containers, but I couldn't help to wonder why I managed to get a level 3 Torrente. The Osprey in the weapon case was a nicer touch as well, and then I went outside and I found a Volcano sitting on a bed out there, and it was a level 3 Volcano. So something even better than you could get in a night raid. Don't understand what went wrong there. I continued to loot the outside containers, and overall after my first day raid run, it was clear that the loot inside the containers was not as good. There were less items on the ground, but there were weapons on the ground, weirdly enough, and they were level 3 weapons, even better than the night raid. In terms of pure value, we left this room with 91,000, which was similar to the night raids, but I can now go home with 2 level 3 weapons, which to me seems like a win. As I was trying to leave, I got attacked by 2 ziplining psychos who teamed up to try and take me down. Luckily, they didn't realize I had the Delabra on me, otherwise maybe they would have brought even more friends. We managed to take both of them out, and I managed to narrowly escape with my life. I had to do another day raid to see what this level 3 weapon situation was all about. And as I zipped up into the control tower, some guy shot me, and that was a little awkward. I decided to go about my day and just loot the room anyway. I noticed immediately the same pattern. The lockers would just give me a bunch of grenades and utility items and explosive crafting materials. Once again, less loot spawning on the control panels as well. And whilst there were the white containers, they didn't really do too much to impress me. Just some more bits and pieces that you can add together to sell when you get back to the menu. There was another security breach, and once again we got a purple weapon here. I'm starting to wonder if security breaches behind locked doors have better chances for better guns. As I went to loot the outside, some guy jumped off the ledge, tried to kill me, and I had to use a lot of my loot that I found in the room to deal with him. So it was kind of hard to put together how much value we really got out of this room. But what I noticed at the end of it was a Tempest 3 sitting on a chair outside. So once again, Day Raid Control Tower is giving us level 3 weapons. So you're going to get similar value for both night and day raids. It's just the day raid are going to give you level 3 weapons, but less weapons overall. The night raid is going to give you more weapons, but they're going to be level 2. You can choose which one you'd prefer. Overall, Control Tower definitely got a nice buff. Now, I know you're probably wondering, how has the Town Hall key improved? What about the Bluegate Confiscation Room or the Stellar Archives key? Don't worry, I'm working on it. I'm going through all of the keys in the update. Stay tuned, more videos will come. It's just taking a lot of time to wait for night raids to appear in the game because they're infrequent right now. But let's just say there's been some pretty crazy changes. Let me know in the comments which key room you wanted me to check next, and I'll get another episode out soon.